Welcome to the Crystal Self-Healer Podcast. I'm Carissa Weaver. On this podcast, we blend the magic of crystals with the science of psychology to help you break free from chaos, ditch the overwhelm, and master your emotions so you can have more energy, get more done, and feel better every day. Get ready to unlock your intuition and restore your true power as we cover how you can transform your life using crystals and self-awareness. Are you ready to get started? All right, let's go. Have you ever experienced a pull or drive towards something only to be talked out of doing it? Where you've just known something, but the voice of reason says that it just can't be that? This is the intuition disconnect. The moment you don't trust what you know. If you're ready to really connect with your intuition, to grasp the subtle signs and nudges, this episode is for you. We're going to uncover why your intuition gets dismissed and show you what you can do to tap into your inner knowing in a way that brings you alignment and purpose. So many people express a desire to trust their intuition. They say they struggle to intuitively pick what crystal to use or how to interpret their card pulls, or they can't master how to put the cards and the crystals together. They believe that if only they had mastery of their intuition, these problems would disappear. They'd be able to trust themselves. When it comes to intuition, the fact that we live within a society that embraces logic and analytical processes creates this initial chasm. Science, logic, and rational analysis, upon which our brains thrive, are all methods to decode the world, but they don't always serve the inner one. But when used to verify and validate the subjective world of intuition, they can lack context and consensus. You distrust your intuition not because it's wrong, but because it didn't match the templates you were taught to trust, and it can't be measured in the ways you were taught to value. The card inspiration this week is the Queen of Cups, as the situation circumstance from a recent crystal and tarot forecast inside the Charmed community. This card is the epitome of an intuitive woman. Here you have a woman sitting upon her throne, gazing at the cup she holds in her hand. What I find most fascinating with this card is the watery nature of it. Her foot is blue, like it's made of water, and her dress is a continuation of the waves and ripples that are in the water around her. Adorning her throne are cherub-like mermaids and a seashell motif. When I first started reading tarot, this card stumped me. I often found myself saying that I couldn't put my finger on the lady depicted in the image, which is exactly what intuition often feels like: fluid, shifting, hard to pin down, but powerfully present. When the Queen of Cups appears as your circumstance or situation, you're being called to embody the flow of emotions, to draw from them to find your way, while also knowing that it will shift form right before your very eyes. Over the years, I've heard many individual takes and definitions of intuition, from it being an absolute mystical process to it being nothing more than rapid-fire learned thought processes. To think about intuition as a binary black and white experience only complicates your understanding of it. So you need to shift and look at the two main processes going on within your brain: conscious and unconscious thinking. These two processes operate differently. The unconscious mind takes in and processes way more information and data than the conscious brain can process. It's estimated that your unconscious brain can take in and process roughly 11 million pieces of information per second. Compare that to the estimate for conscious processing of about 40 pieces per second. What your brain does with all the unconscious data it brings in is it sorts it into categories and schemas that our conscious brain pulls from. Yet this doesn't make one process intrinsically better or more valid than the other. They complement each other. I like to think of intuition as a yes and kind of thing, in that it is a melding of the conscious and unconscious processes within our brain. We've talked many times about how the more you repeat something, the more you forge neural pathways in your brain that make things a habit, or subconscious or unconscious thought. This can explain why someone might think that intuition is nothing more than rapid-fire learned thoughts. But as humans, we're wired to seek meaning. I mean, really, isn't that kind of what our unconscious brain is doing by sorting, organizing, and categorizing everything it takes in? The disconnect is when our conscious mind relies on external rules and frameworks to judge what the unconscious has already synthesized. Intuition is loudest when you have internal coherence, through resonance, through pattern, through embodied certainty. A way of balancing between the conscious, rational, assigned value or meaning of what we've captured and grasped unconsciously. And that means learning to not dismiss or write off intuitive hits because of external voices, a lack of evidence, or the inherited expectations you've internalized. I'm not saying that what you find in books or that what someone else has compiled as meaning is wrong. What I am saying is that you need to question whether that speaks to you in a deeper, more embodied way that brings meaning to you. When meaning resonates within you before it's validated by someone else, that's intuition, and it's already yours. The crystal I'm going to offer to support you in connecting with your intuition is selenite, and here's why. When you're feeling disconnected and foggy with your intuition, selenite clears out energetic blockages and clears channels between conscious and unconscious. This allows you to recognize the intuitive nudges and hints that surface. When you're anxious, overwhelmed, or your body is in survival mode, your intuition can be harder to notice. Selenite will support calming and a relaxed state that allows you to notice your insights without fear of being dismissed or overridden. Building on this sense of calm, selenite has the ability to cut through the noise of distortion and other people's projections onto you. This helps you recognize what was yours or what was a previously programmed response. Because selenite supports a high vibration by clearing out blockages and restoring energetic coherence with a higher state, your thoughts, emotions, and inner guidance are more likely to become aligned. This allows you to be in a more receptive state where you can see your intuition arise naturally. So here's the easiest ritual you can do with selenite that will address the intuition disconnect so you can trust what you know. As often as possible, set aside as little as 5 minutes to meditate while holding selenite. The more you take time to slow down, go inward, explore the thoughts and patterns that arise, the more you'll have an opportunity to see the difference between your conscious and unconscious mind. 5 minutes, daily if possible, but consistency is key. If you're sitting there having tried meditation and you want something more tangible, I want to invite you to sign up for my Be Your Own Oracle workshop. You get immediate access to a pre-recorded course where you will learn to trust and use your intuition. Through the workshop, you'll move from second-guessing yourself to trusting the messages you receive. You'll feel more confident in your instincts and have clarity and direction when connecting to your higher self or source. Additionally, when you purchase the workshop in the next couple weeks, there is a live activation and integration call at the end of the month where you'll clear the blocks and dissolve the fears holding you back from fully claiming your intuitive mastery. The link to register is in the show notes. Today's pairing of the Queen of Cups with Selenite is from a recent crystal and tarot forecast inside the Charmed community. I invite you to join me in this free space where I share these readings weekly to help you align your energy and focus your week. You'll also get the opportunity to connect with others who are exploring their growth and creating change in their lives, just like you. Join us for free. The link is in the show notes. And if you're tired of being on an emotional roller coaster, constantly juggling everything in your life, and you want to be part of a space that holds you in your healing, a space where you can feel seen, supported, and connected, I'd love to have you join me inside the Crystal Self-Healer Members Portal. It's where we go beyond the weekly guidance and we apply it to your life, equipping you with the tools, resources, and support to build your confidence in crystal healing and emotional self-care. This also includes access to the workshop mentioned earlier. Inside, you'll find personalized coaching, healing sessions, rituals, and everything you need to truly empower yourself to live with more ease and alignment. Visit my website, 3charmedgems.com, or click the link in the show notes to learn more and join me. It's time to stop living at the mercy of emotional triggers and start living in spiritual integrity. The Crystal Self-Healer Members Portal is where that shift begins. Come home to yourself and find your clarity. Today's episode has been brought to you by the Queen of Cups, Selenite, and Coherence. May we all release blocks and fears that interfere with the connection to our inner knowing. Blessed be, my friends. All right, my friends, that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you for joining me here today on the Crystal Self-Healer podcast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, leave a review, and take the What Crystal is Best for You quiz linked in the show notes. Join me again next week as we continue to demystify crystals, how your brain works, and how you can use them so you can have more energy, get more done, and feel better every day.